The Nymph banner is one of the rarest items in Terraria, obtained from killing the Nymph enemy 25 times. It serves no useful purpose, it's extremely tedious to get, and contributes nothing towards game progression. But I'm going to see how long it takes me to get one. The process for this challenge is very simple. Go underground and kill nymphs. However, there are a few ways to speed this up, which we'll get into later. Firstly, let's get some basic gear. For the purpose of this video, I've kept the full footage, which is quite long, so most of it's going to be sped up. I got some cactus armor, opened a few chests, and I made my way underground, where I was spending the vast majority of this challenge. After a quick trip back to base, I made my way through the desert again to the underground, just to get some more pre-hard mode gear to make killing the nymphs easier. So the plan I had to kill nymphs was to build a minecart track and make her back and forth. Here I'm just prepping some space for if I do need to build one. After a second unexpected return to the surface, I decided to use a gravitation potion I picked up to search sty islands in the hope of getting a star fury. This would be useful for lighting up areas underground where a nymph may have spawned. After searching a couple of islands, I got them, and then she back underground. At this point in the run, I was still searching for a good, naturally generated minecart track. As mentioned earlier, the idea was to find one long enough in the cave in there that allowed me to go back and forth, allowing nymphs to spawn. After another unsuccessful attempt on a good, naturally generated minecart track, I made my way to the dungeon to get a water candle. This is going to be essential for the run, as it should greatly improve nymph spawn rates. Back underground, I started work on manually building a minecart track. This should provide a semi-AFK-able method to find and kill nymphs. Here, I could use my Star Fury to light up darker areas where a nymph may spawn. Although, the first use of my minecart track setup turned out to be killing the queen bee. And thus began what was to be a very, very long grind for the nymph banner. Feel free to skip ahead these parts, so it's got to refresh something. I'll tell you though into the grind to become the first move. As this demonstrates, nymphs can be quite hard to spot, even with a Star Fury. So as the run goes on, I'll hopefully clear out more space above the track, so they spawn more commonly on the track, instead of dark caves above it. With 1 down and 24 to go, I pushed on. In an effort to get more spawns, I decided to extend the track here. I'm not really sure if this made any difference, to be fair. I can briefly went back to the surface to build 2 houses. This is a condition to allow a travelling merchant to spawn, which I'll need to buy life form analyzer, which will make this guide a lot easier, as it will show whether a nymph is nearby. As I mentioned, from here the video will get a bit monotonous, so that adds some calming music if you want to watch on. Here I'm just lighting up some of the caves above the minecart track, just to make it easier to spot a nymph that does spawn. Here I decided to mine out some of the caves above the track, with the idea being to force more nymphs to spawn on the minecart track instead of above, to make them easy to see. I got pretty much the best luck of the entire run here. I get being a Bloodboon help for Squirm race, but 2 nymphs back to back, that was pretty rare. Here I've crafted a watch just so I could see the times when the travelling merchant would spawn. Five nymphs in, and we got our first travelling merchant of the run. Unfortunately, he wasn't selling a life bomb analyzer, but I know there's a fair chance we'll get it before we get the banner. According to the wiki, it's a common thing for him to sell. 9th nymph defeated. Then we were over a third of the way through. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Traveling merchant number 2 sold, well, not at Fane's Arena. Never mind. So with one final nymph to go, we've got a travelling merchant spawn. So let's go back round and see if it's same the life form analyzer. No. That's okay. That's odd. You don't always get what you want. It's to the end now.